Hello guys, recently I replaced my old Canon 1DX Mark II with a new Blackmagic 6K cinema camera, and I'm really excited about the upgrade. I don't earn much from still photography anymore nowadays, and I'm shooting mostly only videos. So I was thinking, why am I still shooting videos using a DSLR camera that can produce only 8-bit videos? So I decided to get rid of all my DSLR cameras and upgrade it into this, which can shoot 12-bit raw videos 60p at 6K resolution. So right after I bought this camera, I went to Langkawi Island in the west coast of Malaysia to try filming with this camera. And I'm very impressed with the image quality coming from this camera. However, there are pros and cons I'm going to discuss about using this cinema camera, and I'll start with the cons first. First thing, the battery. It uses the LPE6 battery, which is the same as the Canon 5D battery, and it lasts only about 30 minutes or less. I really like the size of it, which is really small for a cinema camera. It's almost like a mirrorless camera. So I decided not to get a battery grip for this camera, which will turn it into a bulky camera. But instead, I plan to get a lot of LPE6 batteries for this camera. I plan to get at least 10 of this, since I'm filming mostly my adventure in the wilderness and I'm usually in the wild for at least 3 to 4 days. My advice is to get the original LPE6 battery, because if you're using a third party, the battery will run out much faster. Secondly, since the battery can last only about 30 minutes or less, I can't shoot a long time-lapse. I'm now limited to shoot only about 30 minutes of time-lapse, and then I have to change to a new battery. Thirdly, since I'm filming in RAW, it uses a lot of space. Most people are using SSD, but since I'm traveling, I have to keep it simple. I cannot attach any cage to this camera, so I have to stick with a small but very expensive CFast 2 card. Currently, I'm using two 128GB CFast 2 card, and each card can last me only about 16 minutes when I'm filming in 6K resolution, 12:1 compression on B-RAW format. Coming from shooting with a DSLR or mirrorless, I find this camera quite difficult to use. I'm so used to the follow focus feature on Canon 1DX Mark II, which make it really easy for me to focus on moving subject. Now, I have to focus almost everything manually. Another thing I realized about the system of this camera is that I can't actually delete any footages that I shot wrongly. The only way is to format the whole CFast 2 card, so that I have to be really careful when I'm filming to save the space of the CFast 2 card, especially when I'm filming in 6K resolution 50p, which uses a lot of memory. Having said all that, coming from Canon 1DX Mark II, I find this camera really small, almost like a mirrorless camera. And the real reason why I bought this camera is because it shoots at 6K resolution 50p on RAW format, which is 12-bit. And the image coming out from this camera is really outstanding. Shooting with RAW, I'm now able to capture all the details on both highlights and shadows. When shooting in RAW, I mostly shoot in 12:1 compression for the smallest file size. I don't see any difference shooting at 3:1 and 12:1 compression, unless if I zoom the video to about 500%. I'm editing my videos on a MacBook Pro, which is definitely not powerful enough to handle a 6K RAW videos. So I will color grade the RAW footages first in DaVinci Resolve, which is a very powerful color grading software. And then I'll output it into 4K QuickTime ProRes 422 file. And finally, I can edit it smoothly in Premiere or even in DaVinci Resolve itself. I'll probably make a quick tutorial on this in my next few videos. So that's all for now. I hope by watching this video, you guys have some ideas on the difference between shooting with a DSLR or mirrorless camera compared to a cinema camera. Hope to see you guys again next time, and peace be on you.